Hi guys, this is me, Daniel Hutchins, and today we are doing something special today. We are reading some more of the Golden Age Flash, and we are also doing some Den of Geek article discussions. So first thing first, we are starting with the Golden Age Flash of Daniel Leeds. Okay. The Flash presents his haul of speed records. I thought that perhaps you readers might be interested in various sorts of speed records, so I got in touch with Mr. Hybrid, the artist who draws my adventures, looked up some actual records for speed, and here they are. The Lockheed P-38 Interceptor flies on a level of 500 miles per hour and dives at 700 miles per hour. The fastest animal alive is the cheetah. Kenneth G. Dowell, British sportsman and author, clocked the cheetah at 70 miles an hour for 100 yards. Equipoise, the racehorse, covered the mile in 1 minute, 34 2/5 seconds. But for the greatest speed of all, we have to go off of Earth. A newly discovered comet travels at the rate of 800 miles a second. In this rate of speed, you could go from New York to West Coast in less time than it takes you to save hippopotamus 4 times. Glenn Cunningham of Kansas ran the mile in 4 minutes and 4 seconds at Dartmouth. Okay. So, the thing still remains the same. I show you the pages as I read them. So, okay. So, The Flash, the Adventure of the Monocle and the Garden of Gems. The dressing room of a fashion-able Broadway theater where a fashion show is about to begin. Can you imagine these hats are worth $100,000? The diamonds on this one is valued at $150,000. I'm almost scared to handle it. A hand reaches for the doorway and drops the glass vial on the floor. Gas rises from the broken vial to choke the models into unconsciousness. Oh, I'm choking. There you go. So, alright. Down the hall comes Joan Williams, bustling with importance. As the costume designer for the show, I'm doing alright. I've got the girls all looking like sirens. Oh, that funny smell. Why, it's gas. The girls are all unconscious in the hats they've been stolen. Outside the lobby of the theater, Jake Garrick the Flash was waiting. I don't know what I'm doing at a fashion show, but Joan thinks I ought to be here. Oh, Jay. They've stolen all the models' hats. Quick. Now, why would anyone want a bunch of dizzy hats? You don't understand. I'll say I don't. Some of those new hat styles would scare a spook. But Jay, those hats were worth $500,000. They all had valuable jewels set in them. Blazes, why didn't you say so? You women chatter, but you don't say anything. And then we all choked up with the gas, and that's all I remembered. The show's ruined. No hats, oh dear. You leave those hats to me. So Jay dashes for home. I never had an opportunity like this before. I'm going to make Joan a set of hats that'll knock her eyes out. He stops off on the way, buys a couple of bolts of material, and upon reaching home changes rapidly into the costume of the Flash. Now if I can't reach out a batch of hats in a couple of seconds, I'm not the Flash. With unbelievable speed, the Flash churns out hats, and such hats. Hotcha. These ought to be good for a lot of laughs when they see him. Haha. Carrying his creations, the Flash races toward the theater. Oh, those hats. Yeah, I know they're funny. But what the Flash doesn't know, if I could only have a hat like one of those, they were beautiful. At the theater. Why, they're wonderful, Jay. I didn't know such a brilliant design execution. Huh? They'll be sensational, of course. The firm lost the jewels, but these hats will sell. Somebody pinch me, I'm dreaming. Okay. Yep. Alright. The fashion show starts. Now just watch those hats get a laugh. Joan must think the audience is dumb to take those things seriously. But the audience vigorously applauds. Daringly original. Wonderful. Never saw anything like 'em. Simply gorgeous. Backstage, Joan revives the overcome Flash with one of his hats. Flash, Flash, speak to me. Oh, I give up. I'll stick to crime and criminals after this. Oh yes, that reminds me. The rats who stole those jewels, who's still wandering around loose, I'd better go after 'em. I'm so happy those hats are a success. I almost don't care whether you find the crooks or not. The Flash is so overcome by his creative powers, he forgets himself and runs so fast, he drags the shrub up by the roots. Hats? Hats? Huh. Give me a good crook any day. He ransacks hotels, nobody in there with any jewels. Trolley cars, not a crook in a carload. I'm stumped. I've been all over town, and not a clue. I'll have to wait for something to break, I guess. And now let us introduce you to the brains of a deadly criminal outfit, the smooth, suave, clever monocle. Ah, here comes my boys now with the jewels. Here you are, boss. It was easy. That gas of yours sure knocks 'em for a loop. Beautiful. These gems shall go in my garden. Wait till I return. The garden of gems, priceless jewels inset, represent the pistils of the flowers. Ah, my little gems worth over $100,000. Each of you will take your place in my jewel garden. I own the greatest gems in the entire world now. Now back to the boys. Now I need money. You boys will do a little job for me at the Carson Bank, first thing tomorrow. Okay, boss, working for you in a cinch? Yeah, you never make mistakes either. You've got to have gray matter to be a good crook. Now take these gas pellets, drop them on the floor of the bank. They'll knock everyone unconscious. You boys wear gas masks, then take the money and walk out. Yes, takes brains. No one in the world has much brains as I have. But some distance away, the Flash ponders. Somebody took those jewels, but who? Oh well. I might as well go to bed. I'll go downtown early in the morning. Got to make a deposit to the Carson Bank. Next morning, the Carson Bank. Come on, guys. They just opened the doors. The gas pellet splatters on the floor. That'll hold them, but give them a few more to make sure. Oh, I can't breathe. Cough, cough. Oh boy, what a haul. No witnesses either. All of them are gas. Down the street comes Jake Garrett, Ken for the Carson Bank. What a swell day. But as he steps in the bank, oh, cough, cough, what gas. Jay starts taking off his top coat. My speed is so great I exhaled that gas before it could take effect. I'll hold my breath so I don't inhale anymore. Produces his helmet from a paper bag and lo, he's the Flash. Now the suction of the speed will pull all the gas out of the bank. Then I could go in again. This time I'll say, gas. These crooks must be the same ones who stole the jewels. Back into the bank and face to face with one of the crooks. Gulp. All of a sudden you leap right at me. Is that any way to act? Maybe not. But this is it. You got a date with a flagpole. Help! Crash. One by one the Flash impales the would-be robbers on the flagpole. But the mongrel keeps in consistent touch with his men by radio. Bennett, Sanders, what's wrong? Why haven't you reported to me like usual? Hey, boss, we've been captured by a man calling himself the Flash. What will we do? The Flash? Is he horning in? What to do? Let me see. I'll trick him into coming here, then I'll kill him, once and for all. Suddenly the Flash is startled to hear his name. Hello, Flash, Monocle. Speaking, I dare you to come after me. Monocle, who said that? Radio, huh? Okay, Mr. Monocle. It will be a pleasure to come and get you. Where do you live? 150 Claren Causeway. I'll be waiting. Alright. If that Monocle fellow thinks he can bluff me, he's crazy. I'll tie him in knots. I have to be there real soon. Meanwhile, the Monocle lives up the reputation for being slick as an eel. Now, I keep records of all law enforcement men and women in this boat. Let's see, the Flash. Has a girlfriend named Joan Williams. I'll send the boys after her. If the Flash should win, his girl will be killed. If he loses, I'll let her go. Hurry, boys. Okay, Monocle. Gunmen, meet the Flash. He passes the car with such terrific speed he creates a suction that rips off the real license plate. While the Flash goes on towards Monocle's home, the gunmen reach Joan Williams. There's her address. Let's go. Get a move on, sister. You're coming with us. Oh? Inside the Monocle's home. That cheap fake, he's hiding from me. Ah, Mr. Flash, you'll find me in the glass room, second door. On the right. I'm the Monocle, and I'm waiting for you. Okay, Mr. Monocle, I'm coming too. Oh! 1,000 layered monocles and 1,000 lights temporarily blind the Flash. Wow, I underestimated the Monocle fellow. I can't tell which is him and which are the images. Very true, Mr. Flash, but stand still. You move so fast, I can't shoot you. I will. Now, which figure in the mirrors is me? This mirror business works both ways. Curses, I never thought of that. A trap door opened behind the real Monocle. Ha ha ha, too late, Flash. Ooh, this guy's slick. Okay. These stories just seem really long, so bear with me. As the Flash leaves the mirror room, too bad, Mr. Flash. Better luck next time. Meanwhile, I sent men to capture Joan Williams, the hostage. That means you had better not be too ambitious about catching me, or she'll suffer. You rat, you play nice and clean, don't you? He hunts high and low. I'll take this house apart until I find him. While the Monocle follows his every move, as he enters each room, he touches off the electric eye system. Ah, he's 2 rooms down now. Time to get my men placed in readiness for him. Now when the Flash enters, shoot him down without mercy. Okay, boss, if we can see him. You will see him. I have arranged a fast blinking light system to slow down the Flash's actions, so he can be seen by human eyes. A stroboscope is a scientific instrument which is used to study objects moving too swiftly for the human eye to see. If the same manner electric light can be made to speed up or decrease, for instance, an ordinary light bulb does not give steady light. But in reality, it flickers, the flickering, of course, being too fast for the eye to notice. In this light, the Flash can be seen. Geez, what would the boss think of next? Flash is seen. Whoa, a trap. In the Garden of Gems, while the Flash is taken care of by this time, it's possible he may have mentioned that he was coming here to see someone, in which case I'd better find a temporary hiding place for my jewels. He gets in touch with the men who went after Joan Williams. Hello, boss. Did you get her? You did? Well, we have no further use for her. We've got the Flash where we want him. Kill her at once. Oh, he means me? That's right, lady. But I'll try to make it easy for you. Just take a deep breath, it's like diving. Oh, Flash, where are you? The Flash has his hands full. This is no fun. One of those lead pills is gonna hit me in a second. Yo! Another close one. Now his bullets zip and hum about him. The Flash streaks across the room. I feel like an Indian running the gauntlet, but I've got to reach that light switch. He throws the switch, the irregular lights go on, and the gunman will help us in the blinding glare. I'm blind. My eyes. How can I earn a living bumping guys off if I can't see? I'll come back for you boys. Right now I'm after Moniker. But the Moniker, always far-sighted, is in a plane rising from the roof. So long, Slowpoke. Okay. Slowpoke, eh? I'll show him a thing or two. Moving faster than a bullet, he hurls himself into the air. His propulsion so great, he soars right up to the plane. He lands on the plane's fuselage. Okay, Monaco, take her down, or you get hurt. Oh yeah? You're the one that's gonna get hurt. Flash yanks the Monaco from his seat and spins him madly in the air. All right, wise guy, do I let you go? No, I'll be killed. Spare me, Flash, spare me. I'll surrender, I'll do anything. Will you return those jewels in reform? Yes, anything. Okay, take down that plane. You've got more jewels in here than they had at the World's Fair. You have made me see the evil of life. I shall reform immediately. Oh, I almost forgot, Joan. What about her? What have you done with her? Joan is about to get shot. I don't like this job. 1, 2, oh! Motorcycle cop stops to kill a car. Pull over there, you. A couple of mobsters doing in a dame, eh? Get 'em up. You great big colossal man, new hero. Aye, my lady. I got a wife and kids. The Flash arrives. Flash, oh thank heaven you've come. Joan, you're still alive. What happened? They didn't leave no rear license plate, so I pulled them over. So they must have been an accident. We didn't have no accidents. I'll have you know I'm a careful driver. So what? I suppose I did it, huh? We know the Flash did, 'cause the crook's to lose the license plate. But he doesn't, so we'll keep the secret. And don't forget, you can read more of the Flash's thrilling adventures every month in Flash Comics. Okay. So this will be what the next story is going to be. This is going to be in the next story that I read next time. So, how the Daniel Reads works is I'm going to be reading one story out of this book, and I also probably fit some articles in as well. Okay? So, now we are going, as I promised, to Den of Geek. Den of Geek. Alright. Okay. Alright. We're just going to comics. Okay. New Batman costume was revealed as a new era for The Dark Knight begins. So the new era of Batman comics from Joshua Williamson and George Molina means a new Batsuit. Okay, so Batman's going through some major changes this year, at least in the worlds of comic books, where he's currently under siege by Scarecrow, while also being hunted in by the new peacekeeping force known as the Magistrate. He's been losing his grip on Gotham City for years, and soon he's going to leave it all together, at least for a little while, when the current Fear State story arc comes to close in November. But the biggest change to DC's Batman line is happening behind the scenes. James Tynion IV, who's been writing Batman and leading the direction of the line since 2020, will exit Gotham to focus on his creator-owned books and paid Substack newsletter at the end of this year. His final issues of Batman will be number 117 and the Batman Fear State Omega Special. This sets up the new Batman-less status quo in Gotham. Now, fortunately, the comic book publisher wasted no time announcing Tynion's replacement. It's Joshua Williamson, the fan-favorite DC veteran who's not only responsible for one of the best Flash runs of the past decade, but has also been a chief architect for several of the company's biggest crossover events, including Dark Knight's Death Metal, and Infinite Frontier. He's also already written plenty of Batman comics, now collaborating with Tom King on 2 crossover events during the Rebirth era, as well as writing the Batman Superman comics. It only makes sense that he'll eventually get a shot at DC's best-selling Bat book. Okay. Williamson will take over in December with Batman number 118 and 119, with George Molina joining him on pencils. Now, Molina is best known for his work at Marvel, where he's drawn issues of Spider-Man, X-Men, and the Avengers. The artist is leaving his mark right away with number 118, which will introduce a new Batsuit. That's a bit of a departure from the current one. You can see the new suit and some covers shown below, but you have to go here to denofgeek.com. But also, Joshua Williamson on Twitter has also shared Batman number 118 in December. He says, "I'm writing Batman. As Batman leaves Gotham, I'm starting a new story called Abyss, drawn by the awesome George Molina. Not talking about this was driving me nuts. Excited to finally share with George Molina's number 118 cover with you. The Oval is back." Okay. So actually it's just basically the new Batman chapter begins. We're honoring the plan that the other books in the Batline are doing while telling a brand new story for Bruce Wayne as Batman in the DC Universe. Check out the new villain called Abyss on Batman cover 119 for January. 118 is the first appearance. Cover by George Molina. Alright, so there's actually some pretty cool photos for covers. But the first thing you'll notice about the new suit is that the yellow oval is finally back as part of the more classic bat symbol adorning the chest. Artists have gone with a more minimalist, plain black bat symbol in the past few years, so it's nice to see a bit of color return to the suit. Nicely though, which somewhat resembles the Batsuit, and it introduced late in the Grant Morrison's Batman run, like Batman Incorporated suit. The new costume ditches the black trunks and emphasizes the yellow utility belt with its big pouches full of gadgets. Seems breaks up the suit nicely too, adding a little bit of contrast to the gray in lieu of the trunks. The cover for 118 even made it look like Batman might be going back to the classic blue and gray motif that he's worn for most of his existence. But that's just a trick of the light. The cover for number 119 has him back in black and gray. And on a Twitter tweet, congratulating Williamson, Tynion teased that the costume is a clue about what his arc is about, which could mean Batman Incorporated. Now, the Cape Crusaders network of international Batmen is actually back in business, with the Dark Knight stopping crime around the world during his absence from Gotham. Or maybe Tynion needs that a different character is in the Batsuit. Williamson made it clear that his run will continue in the thread started by Tynion, but will also tell a new story. We're honoring the plan that the other books in the Batline are doing while telling a brand new story for Bruce Wayne and Batman in the DC Universe, Williams said to Twitter. Williamson and Molina's first arc is called Abyss. Stars a new villain with the same name. You can see the skiff brandishing baddie on the cover of number 119. He kind of resembles the Ghostmaker with a bit of the Phantasm thrown in. The skeletal armor and talons are certainly creepy. Now, beyond the name, Williamson didn't share more details about Abyss. According to Williamson, we'll learn more about what this new era of Batman is all about in the coming weeks as the Fear State comes to a close. Okay, so there you go, guys. That's just a little bit of some new updates or news on Batman comics. I'm going to be doing a couple more articles, and then we are going to, of course, I'm going to review the video. I'm going to post the video and share the video to you guys, so that way you guys are able to enjoy it yourself. But of course, sorry if I'm getting off topic, but we are going back and finding more articles, guys. We are finding more articles from our friends Den of Geek. Okay. We just have to find something. Okay. So now we're visiting something from a week ago. Hawkeye's hearing aids are called back to the classic Marvel comics. The minor detail from the new Disney Plus Hawkeye trailer shows the major part of the character's comic book history. This was from the 13th of this month. Now, I'm a little bit late on this, but that's okay, because it's still somewhat recent, and it's good news, so I want to share it to you guys. So one thing about the origins of the Marvel Cinematic Universe that's easy to forget these days is that much of the Avengers stuff was inspired by the Ultimate Marvel Comics. Now, specifically, the Ultimates, this especially went for Hawkeye, who had little to do with his mainstream comic book self, and far more with the Ultimate Hawkeye. His uniform, SHIELD Black Ops status, and even his family were taken from the Ultimate Marvel Comics. Not only that, but the way he became a hopeless man and a hopeless mass murderer after the deaths of his wife and kids was far more permanent in the comics and was lifted from books. So it's a little bit weird to see him suddenly shift to the mainstream comic self. Now, up to Avengers Endgame, the only specific bit of Hawkeye taken from regular comic continuity was that he started dressing as Ronin for the first time. Now, he's starring in a Disney Plus series that takes a ton of inspiration from Matt Fraction and David Aja comic run, and they're really going head first into the regular Marvel comic book history. Now, we also have Kate Bishop, the tracksuit Draculas, luckily the pizza dog, and so on. But one reference goes back again and again, and a lot further, than the fractions pen. Okay, so from various shots, Clint is shown wearing a hearing aid. This is taken from comics, where it's been a regular thing on and off through the years. Now, back in 1983, there was a 4-issue Hawkeye miniseries by Mark Grenwald and Danny Bonaldi. In it, Hawkeye and Mockingbird were kidnapped by a supervillain named Crossfire, who had a special machine that shot off frequency that turns victims into mindless, violent psychos. He turned it on and had Hawkeye and Mockingbird fight each other like they're on autopilot. Now, to this point, Hawkeye would try to shoot arrows at her, despite neither having a bow nor arrow on him. Crossfire decided to turn off this machine for a bit, for the sake of taunting the heroes about how helpless they were. Okay. And it actually is a photo of that down below. But thinking quick, Hawkeye pulled out a sonic arrow tip that he kept in one of his pouches to block out the mind control. He bit down on it and turned it on. Now, deafened from the stunt, he was able to subdue Mockingbird escape and take down Crossfire. Afterwards, he politely nodded his head when Mockingbird started hitting on him. But she eventually caught up to what was wrong, and shortly after, the two got married. So they got hitched. Yeah, buddy. So Clint had lost 80% of his hearing. So he started wearing a hearing aid, and that was the status quo for a good 15 years or so. Now, the big onslaught event from the comics went to a plot device where the Avengers were sucked into oblivion. Franklin Richards used his reality rewriting powers to bring the heroes back from the brink, but it was used as something as an in-story soft reboot. At the time, Iron Man was a teenager, and Wasp was a little insect woman. So when Franklin brought the Avengers back, he brought them back the way he remembered them. Since he wasn't aware of Hawkeye's hearing problems, Clint was recreated with healthy eardrums. Now that's something you might not have expected. But okay. In the acclaimed Matt Fraction and David Ajah Hawkeye series, with the MCU show is drawing a lot of inspiration from, Clint was jumped by an assassin known as the Clown, who's also set to be a show in the Disney Plus series. Clown had stabbed Clint in each ear with his arrows, and then shot Clint's brother Barney, which neither were killed. Barney was resigned to a wheelchair, and Clint was rendered deaf. A flashback showed that Clint had been dealing with hearing issues since he was a boy, a side effect of an abusive father's handiwork. Now, that made him reluctant to use sign language to communicate with Barney. Now, don't get that Barney mixed up with the purple dinosaur Barney, because that is the wrong Barney. And we're talking Barney as like his brother. Okay, so as it has reminded him of worse times and stung his pride. Alright, there's still more, guys. There's a photo down below with him and Barney. But Clint's ears did get better, though the severity of the lasting damage depends on the writer. As for MCU explanations, maybe the Clown will get the drop on him. Maybe it'll be caused from the crazy explosion that knocked him back in Avengers Endgame. I mean, did you see how that blast knocked him back? There's more. But yeah, but guess we'll have to wait and see this winter. Though it does certainly fit in well with the fact that the show is introducing another deaf hero in Echo. Now, Hawkeye arrives on Disney Plus on November the 24th, right before you get fat on Thanksgiving. So, what a good way to watch some Marvel and get fat on Thanksgiving. Because that's when it's going to come out. It actually is a pretty great idea. So, again, kudos to the people at Marvel Studios. But I am going to be doing another article. Okay. Alright. We are still looking, guys. We are finding some articles. We are just trying to find some articles, guys. So don't mind me. Okay. We are going to talk about Wonder Woman. Yes, Wonder Woman. So, now we are talking about Wonder Woman. Yep. But in particular, we're talking about Wonder Woman's BF, or boyfriend, Steve Trevor. So why Steve Trevor from Wonder Woman 1984 Return was so problematic. Now, Wonder Woman 1984 was back on HBO Max, and we're taking the opportunity to reflect on the unnecessary problematic nature of Steve Trevor, the boyfriend of Wonder Woman. So if you only just caught Wonder Woman 1984 on HBO Max, where it was released for no additional cost or fee to subscribers, then you probably have some questions about Steve Trevor. Chris Pine's return as Diana's long-lost love and much publicized in the lead-up to the DC Extended Universe film from Christmas of 2020, most because it is quite difficult to hide the entire Hollywood Chris while filming. But prior to the film release back in 2020, it was unclear to what capacity Steve Trevor would have been returning from. But given that he, died at the end of Wonder Woman, the answer to how it all goes down left many viewers understandably disappointed. I enjoyed Wonder Woman 1984 a heck of a lot more than most people, and I was left dumbfounded by the film's unnecessary decision to bring Steve back in some poor guy's body. So let's discuss how Steve comes back in Wonder Woman 1984. If you watch Wonder Woman 1984, then you know that Steve Trevor comes back to life, because Diana wishes for his return on the Dreamstone. Now at the time, she doesn't totally believe in the power of the ancient stone, mostly because she thinks it's some knockoff and not the actual artifact made from the gods. But she still goes for it though, because she misses Steve so goddamn much. Her wish is granted and Steve is brought back to life in the body of a local architect played by Christopher Palala, whom you may have known from the excellent Life Unexpected, among other things. The problematic nature of Steve's return from the dead. Now, Wonder Woman 1984 had completely ignored the uncomfortable nature of Steve's return, which sees the World War I pirate waking up in some random guy's body, presumably without the dude's consent, and proceeding to use it as if it were her own. Now, after waking up in not Steve's body, Steve proceeds to have sex with Diana, eat cheese whiz, and get into several life or death scenarios, and could lead to forever deaths of both Steve and not Steve with one stray bullet. Now sure, Diana is a good protector, but because of her wish, she almost immediately starts losing her powers, putting not Steve's body in even greater danger when Diana tries to convince Steve to stay behind when she goes to confront Maxwell Lord from the White House, because she wants him to be safe. There was no discussion on how Steve is using this poor stranger's body without the thought or the implications or consequences when Steve convinces Diana to let him come along. It is framed as Steve making his own choice about his own body. But you know, it's not his own body. Now eventually, Steve convinces Diana to renounce her wish, sending Steve back from the heaven, like afterlife, from whence he came, and restoring not Steve's consciousness to his own body. Again, this decision is not at all framed as the right thing because Steve was effectively stolen some poor schnook's body, but rather as the right thing to do to save the world. Which, yes, definitely, and even at the fate of the entire world, were not at stake already, this guy deserves his bod and existence back. Okay. So it is incredibly weird and unfortunate that Wonder Woman 1984 made the choices it did to how it brought Steve Trevor back because of the ickiness of the return were totally unnecessary. Unlike so many viewers, I like the decision to bring back Steve for the Wonder Woman sequel, at least partially, because of my underlying love for professional movie boyfriend Chris Pine, but there is no reason whatsoever for it to be in someone else's body. Now, the Dreamstone has seemingly unending power to change reality, which means that Steve simply could have been brought back to life in his own body, magically restored to the circa 1918 status, because no one wants a mostly decomposed corpse boyfriend sidekick walking around DC. Now, the only reason to have Steve Trevor come back in another body would be for the creative team desperately wanted the character back, but not secure the actor for the return, which was not the case. In fact, it was probably closer to the opposite. Since they had Chris Pine, they didn't need to have Steve Trevor come back in another body because the audience and Diana saw Steve Trevor in his original form anyway. Now, basically, it was a wholly unnecessary decision that for some viewers has ruined the movie altogether. Okay, so Wonder Woman 1984 is on HBO Max in the United States of America. So, time check. Time check is 42 minutes. Okay, so I'm probably going to wrap this up, guys, and I hope that you guys enjoyed me reading the quick story from our friend, the Golden Age Flash, and also reading some information from Den of Geek. If you guys like that content, please hit that thumbs up button. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Let me know if you want to see more of the Golden Age Flash being read, and also let me know if you want to see some more article discussions. And as always, have a wonderful, wonderful rest of your night. And I'll probably be doing some more videos in the future. Bye.